Okay, you got to get ready to go live because you're gonna go live, and you gotta do your beagle things, whatever a beagle does on live TV. You got to get up there and let everybody know what you're up to. Got to let them know how you've been being nurse, mudding doing that ratchet and during the nursing, and getting Daddy back there up to help, get him ready to go, get him up to fighting speed. That's right. You got to let him know. Okay. Okay, here's the plan. We're gonna put an APB out for dog biscuits and make sure that we get a bunch of dog biscuits, about a truckload of dog biscuits to come this way. What you think? They think I'm airdrop them, drones, dog biscuit air drones. What you think about that? What you think? Huh? We airdrop biscuit, air drone, air biscuit drop. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds delicious. Where you going? Look at you making a mess. I see how you are. You up here making a mess. Well, you about ready to go live? Okay. You done made a mess. They have to clean that up later. Lord have mercy. It ain't the first time you made a mess up in here. That's all right. Well, you ready to go live? Okay, here we're going to go live. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Welcome to episode 42 of Muddin and BEAGS live. And we is live on a Sunday night. Ready to go. Ready to rock and roll. So we'll go ahead and get through the pleasantries here, and when we come back, we're gonna teach a life lessons to one of our own.
You think you know me? You think you know my struggles, my pain, my journey? Let me tell you something. Don't judge me by what you see or hear. I didn't walk this path to impress anyone. People love to point fingers, to act like they know everything. They don't know my story. You don't know what I had to sacrifice. Because everything I've become was built from battles you never saw.
Okie dokie, we are live and we are in studio. What's your problem, you nut? You need to calm down. It's time to get busy and get on the point. Ready to get on point? All right, here we go. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everybody's doing well this weekend. We decided to take last week off. Had a little bit of a knee issue that was a little bit much, and I just was not up to doing a show. So I'm feeling better this week, and we're ready to rumble. Hey, you want biscuits or you shut up? Hold on, let's get the biscuit out. Here, double biscuit. All right, piss off. Okay, got him taken care of. Okay, so we're going to start off today saying hello to everybody. Hello, Miss Hippie Shake. Hello, Teresa Gregory. How you doing? What's up, Ziggy? Hello, Miss Virginia. And we're going to go and we're going to look at a little something here if I can find it. Here we are. And get my doodadded the way I like it doodadded. And nope. And nope. Why did it do that? That was weird. And that should get me where I want to be. Okay, so I just want to share a little conversation that I had with another old world researcher in a comment section. And I think there's a lesson to be learned here for us all and for this YouTube creator. This is the mysterious Mr. S. And he is, it looks like he started off doing old world art paintings. I'm not really sure. I'm not going to go back and watch this stuff, but they joined in 2020, which would have been a year after I joined about, and they, it seems, did not, it's hard to tell where they started making old world content for architecture
but it looks like it was somewhere around a year ago. So I'm thinking that pretty much everything before that is not important for this conversation. It's everything after that. Now, I'm not going to go through this content. I don't care what the content is. It is what it is. You can go look at it for yourself and make up your own mind. That's not the point here. So let me remove that. And let's see. I was watching their video, this mysterious Mr. S, and they had their video called Tartarian Destruction, Melted Brick, Red Mercury, Ukraine, Tartaria, Russian Atheist Agenda Exposed. And this was sent to me by one of my viewers, wanted me to take a look at it. And so I went and watched it. And they made a comment in the video that I felt was incorrect. And so I made a comment about what I felt was incorrect about it. I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I was just correcting and trying to lead them in, towards the way of truth. I don't think they took it that way. And so anyways, I thought I'd share that conversation with you. And not only do I want to share the conversation with you, I want to prove my point. Because, it's one thing to, knock down a regular viewer, but when you knock down somebody that actually does this research, you're just asking for it. So let's, in the future, maybe not do that. So let me... Oh, let me see this. I'm going to play this video here. This is a short clip of their video. This is the point that the part that I was making a comment on, and I just wanted to play this for you. So try to listen carefully to that.
To get the official narrative, I asked Google AI, which stated, red bricks essentially do not melt. They are considered non-combustible materials and can withstand very high temperatures. Bricks do not have a clear melting point. Instead, they gradually degrade under extreme heat. To get the official narrative, I asked Google AI, which stated, red bricks essentially do not melt. They are considered non-combustible materials.
Red bricks do not melt. Okay, that was my first red flag.
Can withstand very high temperatures. Bricks do not have a clear...
They can stand very high temperatures. Another red flag.
Melting point. Instead, they gradually degrade under extreme heat. To get the official narrative.
They gradually degrade under extreme heat. Now, basically, what he's saying here is that bricks do not melt. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, maybe you wouldn't know that a brick can melt. It can vitrify. And we're going to prove that tonight. So, Mr. S, start taking notes because you need to know this. The video that this person, that this Mr. S is showing here, is a person that is working or a manufacturer for a fire brick company. Now, if you don't know what a fire brick is a specially designed brick that is used in, say, ovens. And it is designed to take high temperatures. Now, that's all well and said, but number one, it's still a brick. Number two, in this video, the brick on the left is a fire brick. The brick on the right is a modern brick, and the brick in the middle is an old brick. Now, is it an old world brick? I don't know. They didn't give the date. But what they did was they put it in this this oven here, and they put it in for a very short period of time, and they heat it up very rapidly. Then they pull it out very quickly, and then they cool it down very quickly. And what they found is that these bricks will crack and break. Okay. Now, I don't have a problem with that. However, that is not how you get a brick to melt. Okay. That's not how you do it. Okay. That's amateur hour. Okay. So we're going to go to professional hour here. Now, let me add a little something to our mix. Okay, let me get my doodadded the way I like it doodadded. Okay, and that should get me doodadded properly. So I believe this is right. This is a screenshot of my conversation with the mysterious Mr. S. Tartarian destruction, melted brick, red Mercury, Ukraine, Tartaria, question mark, Russian atheist agenda exposed. Okay, so got 30,000 views, and I just made this comment here. Okay, so let's get into this little. Let me get into this little comment. Okay, so at 1815. Oh no. Hold on. That's the second. I left 2 comments. Let's be fair to him. Okay, so my comment was 10 to 15% of bricks fired in a brick clamp melted. They are called clinker bricks. A brick can be melted with a Fresnel lens from an old projection TV in the sun. When a brick is heated at very high temperatures, they vitrify. Maybe look a little deeper into these facts. Love, BEAGS. Okay, now I'm just sharing a little knowledge, seeing as how, the fine viewers of this channel know that I've been talking about this, shit for a long time, and I know probably what I'm talking about at this point. So I figured that I could share some of that love with him and help him understand that what he said there was incorrect, and maybe he could, be more knowledgeable than he was before he met me. But no, he doubled down. Sorry, you are wrong. The method you're referring to is completely different. Those are unbaked clay bricks in which you are referring, not the types of bricks used in construction of Fort Zeverov or in typical building construction. Okay, so sorry, you are wrong. Well, no, I'm not wrong, and I'm going to prove it to you. The method you referred to is completely different. No, it's not. Those are unbaked clay bricks. Well, how do you think a fucking brick gets to be a brick? Okay, it starts off as an unbaked clay brick. So all bricks, I don't care if it's a fire brick, a modern brick, and an old world brick, starts off as a clay brick that's then sun-dried or dried, and then it is baked in a kiln or, in the old world, fired. Okay? So let's just start off pulling our head out of our ass and know what we're talking about. Okay, so a brick ain't a brick until you heat it. Okay, till you heat it to the proper temperature for the proper amount of time. Do you hear me talking? Do you hear me knocking? Are you writing this down? Well, get out a piece of paper and start writing this shit down. Okay? Not the types of bricks used in construction of Fort Zeverov. Okay, so you're telling me that the Russians have these magical fucking leprechaun bricks that came down as manna from heaven and they built this fort. So they're different bricks than, I don't know, any other brick in the world. No, they're fucking bricks, motherfucker. They're bricks. Write that down. Bricks is bricks. Now that you have different formulas for bricks, but bricks is bricks. Okay? That's just the way it is. Okay? Unless you come up with some sort of Lego brick construction, and we're talking about the same thing here. Okay? You understand me? Write that down. Okay? On a typical building construction. Typical building construction. Okay, well, what the fuck do you think they're using in typical building construction? Legos? Are they using mega blocks? What are you talking about, man? Do you think they're using fire bricks to build buildings? No, they're using regular, typical fucking bricks. Okay? Today they use brick kiln fire bricks, heated bricks, baked bricks, and in the old world they used fire bricks. Okay? We know this. This isn't rocket science. Write that down. Actually, I am correct. A clay brick or a brick that has already been fired can be melted, but you can believe whatever floats your boat, I guess. Okay, I'm walking away at this point. But no, he's going to double down again. Please inform people who make pizza ovens and fireplaces. Motherfucker, what the fuck are you talking about? What, pray tell, the fuck are you talking about? I'm not talking about goddamn pizza ovens or fireplaces. I'm talking about motherfucking bread bricks, motherfucker. Red bricks. That's what I'm talking about. Yellow bricks, red bricks, black bricks, white bricks, whatever. It's a brick. A brick is a brick is a brick. Okay? I'm not talking about damn pizza ovens here. I never said pizza ovens. So what the fuck are you talking about? I'll stick to the actual facts as you can believe whatever Wikipedia tells you. Motherfucker, I know a little bit more than motherfucker what Wikipedia has told me. And if you fucking knew who the fuck you're talking to, you would know that. But you don't. And I say, seriously, you think, I think you and I have gotten off on the wrong foot. Okay. I am pretty sure you don't understand what my point is. I'll be sure to discuss this in my next live stream. Well, this is my next live stream because I didn't do last week's live stream. So he got a stay of execution, but you know, here it is. So as to make myself crystal clear, just one more question. Do you also believe bricks can turn into stones? Now I'm throwing rocks. Okay. Please say yes. That would make my day, love BEAGS. So basically I'm trying to figure out if he's one of these damn idiot meltologists. So then I watched the video again because I'm thinking, well, maybe this guy's got some sort of point that I'm too stupid to understand. So let me watch it again, just in case I'm a dumbass, which I'm not, but let's just be sure. So 1855, okay, that's this picture. He shows up this wonderful, you know, picture that the meltologists, by the way, have used over and over and over again to say is a melted building. Like for real. And he labels it melted red brick. Okay. And then I say 1855, the image labeled melted red brick you have so graciously shared here is actually a pound of flesh for 50p, also known as melting house, was a temporary outdoor sculpture by Alex Chinnock, located in London, England, part of the city's Merge Festival. The two-story house sculpture was constructed from 8,000 paraffin wax bricks, and it was designed to melt with assistance from heating apparatus over the course of the installation. It was displayed from 26 September to 18 November 2014 at 40 South Park Street, SE19HP, whatever the hell that is. The structure's roof being gradually lowered as the wax melted. After it had been reduced to a pile of hardened goo, the sculpture was removed. Keep dropping those facts. Love BEAGS. Obviously, that's the point. That was his response. Obviously, that's the point. So you put a picture of a obviously fake melted building, label it melted bricks, and that's obviously the point. Maybe I am a dumbass. Maybe I just didn't get the fucking joke. I don't know. Maybe I can't read between the lines. Maybe I don't have psychic fucking abilities. I don't fucking know. Okay, to demonstrate how ridiculous the theory that a brick can melt. Glad you can use Wikipedia. Motherfucker, anybody can use Wikipedia. And if you say you've never used Wikipedia, you're a fucking liar. So don't lie. Just fucking be honest. It's clearly stated in the description. And I'm like, it's clearly stated in the description. So I'm like, wait, what? And so I went back and read the description, and you go down in the description, right? Up in this thing, you got to open this up, and you read down, all after all this stuff. And at the very end, like it was tagged on, possibly after I made a comment, he says that this is a pound of flesh for 50p. It's an art installation project, basically. Now, I don't know if that was there before or after, but first off, I didn't read your fucking description, okay? Because I didn't feel like I needed to. I didn't feel like there was any necessity to read the fucking description. I figured all the pertinent fucking information was in the motherfucking video. I was wrong, I guess. So then he says, please provide evidence of a melted brick building such as Fort Zevereth. Show me evidence of an actual brick melting like wax. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just do that tonight. How about that? How about I do that? Might want to hit the record button. I suggest you look into who you are bantering with. I have an entire playlist just on exposing the lies of Meltology. I think you may be preaching to the choir. Like I said, I'll address this conversation on my next live stream. That's tonight. Your top video has 157 views and your channel has 6K subs. Yeah, I didn't realize it was so difficult to figure out what a person's top video was on YouTube. I didn't know it was like rocket science and you actually had to have a doctorate degree in YouTube to figure out that my top video actually has like 31,000. And that doesn't include, you know, some other things I've done on other channels that have a few more views that you might not know about. Okay. Because you don't know who the fuck you're talking to. Actually, my top video has 31K on my channel. It has over 80K on Michelle Gibson's channel before she took it down so I could get the views. That was my Giants video. I am also one of the few people in the world to do a one-on-one video chat with John Levy. Not to mention my collabs with Mind Unveiled, Martin Lidke, Autodidactic, Paul Cook, to name a few. I am one of the first Mudflood researchers on YouTube. My research is recognized worldwide. Maybe figure out who I am and show some respect. Your ego is driving, love Biggs. Now, I don't like tooting my horn, but I am proud of the things I have done. And I have not heard of this mysterious Mr. S before. Okay. I don't care how many subs you have or how many, you know, videos you think are important that you've made. But number one, I was around long before you. Number two, I have collabed and worked with everybody of importance. And you ain't on the list. Okay. You're standing on my fucking shoulders. And I think you know, should give the people that came before you a little bit of fucking respect. Just a little bit. Okay? Just a little bit. Especially when they're trying to help you. Okay? Just a suggestion. Now, here he says, this is a clip from his video. A brick expert. A brick expert. Yeah. The guy makes fire bricks. Okay? From YouTube. Rapidly fired 2 red bricks and 1 fire treated brick at over 2,000 degrees. The red bricks cracked, not melted. This is a snapshot from the guy's video where he's getting ready to put the bricks into the furnace. And this shows that he was heating the bricks from 1,112 degrees to 1,652 degrees. He rapidly heated them and then pulled them out, then rapidly cooled them. Okay? That's very important. Because here he says rapidly fired at over 2,000. First off, he didn't rapidly fire them at over 2,000 degrees. Okay. So you have to get over 2,000 degrees at the very least to get a brick to melt, number one. Number two, he didn't heat them at 2,000 degrees. And number three, he didn't heat them for very long. Okay. Now, he says here, red bricks essentially do not melt as they are considered non-combustible material and can withstand very high temperatures without melting. However, depending on the specific clay composition, they could start to significantly deteriorate and deform at temperatures exceeding 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, around 1,090 degrees Celsius. Key points to remember, no true melting point. I can't, unlike, I don't think that's important. Now, so this is a little snippet from Fort Zverov. Fort Zverov, 1860s, 1870s in Kronstadt, Russia, was constructed primarily using traditional red brick and stone on an artificial island. Traditional red brick. So those magical leprechaun Lucky Charms bricks he's talking about were actually traditional red bricks. Just regular old fucking bricks. Probably fired bricks. Okay? Or it could have been, you know, it's possible they were, you know, baked in a kiln, but I doubt it. But let's just, you know, go with the fact that they are traditional red bricks. They're not magical Lucky Charms, you know, fart them out your ass, leprechaun, unicorn bricks. Okay. These red bricks combined with vaulted ammunition safe designs were later subjected to 1970 fire, allegedly involving napalm-like substances, which created temperatures over 2,000 degrees Celsius, causing the masonry to melt into spectacular red brick stalactites. Construction material features: structure material, red bricks, and solid stonework designed for coastal defense. Construction type: similar to other Russian forts that featured vaulted, fire-resistant construction, often referred to as brick fort design. Flooring: the fort used asphalt. Blah blah blah. The melted phenomena due to high temperatures in the 1970s. The red bricks melted at temperatures 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it. That's important. 2,000 degrees Celsius created solidified glass-like stalactites and lava-like formations that still hang from the ceilings today. Here's another little something. Fort Zverev's Northern Battery Number 4 was built in 1870s, 1880s near Kronstadt, Russia, under the supervision of engineer Major General Kronstadt Zverev, with construction typically utilizing durable, locally sourced brick common to Imperial Russian military engineering of that area. Common ass bricks, not unicorn bricks, common ass bricks. Builder at the fort is named after Major General Konstantin Zverev. Construction context: construction of northern forts involved as vast amounts of brick, which were often produced at specialized local factories at St. Petersburg region and transported to the island site in the Baltic Sea. So they were vast amounts of brick, often produced at specialized local factories. Okay, melted brick phenomenon. 1970s, fire involved stored napalm-like substance to reach temperature over 2,000 degrees Celsius, 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit, causing the original bricks to melt, restoring stalactites that are visible today. Blah blah blah. Okay, so this is a picture of this facility after the fire, and you can see the damage. Okay, and you can see that the bricks are melted. And here he reasserts himself with his red bricks essentially do not melt. Red bricks, melted red bricks, and he's got a picture of the stalactite bricks. And his contention is that in his video that red mercury was in the armaments, and that is what created the large amounts of heat. And that's all well and said. Now, when I went and looked up a little, actual research, I asked, can red bricks melt when fired in a wood-fired clamp? Okay. Yes, red brick can melt. 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 Did you get that? Write that down. Or bloat when fired in a wood-fired clamp if temperatures are not strictly controlled. While standard red bricks are typically fired between 900 degrees Celsius and 1,200 degrees Celsius, 1,600 to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit to 2,192 degrees Fahrenheit to become durable, exceeding these limits can cause them to slump or turn into a glaze-like black glass. Turn into a glaze-like black glass. In a clamp kiln, which is essentially a temporary kiln built out of the unfired green bricks themselves, maintaining a uniform temperature is difficult. This is often leads to different outcomes based on a brick's position within the stack. Melting, warping, the center risk. Bricks closest to the fuel source, the eyes or trenches, can become far hotter than 12,000 degrees Celsius, causing them to melt, expand like a marshmallow, or fuse together. Vitrification, high quality bricks that reach the ideal peak temperature without melting, becoming very hard, dense, water resistant. Vitrification. Under firing, the outer shell risk. Bricks on the outside of the clamp often serve as insulation and never reach the target temperature. These remain soft and must be refired. Okay, common brick and softening melting point, 2,192 degrees Fahrenheit to 2,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Fire brick, it melts at above 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Ooh, interesting. A fire brick can melt above 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's interesting. So even a pizza fucking oven can fucking melt. That's interesting. Write that down, because wood fires reach temperatures upward of 1,400 degrees Celsius, 2,552 degrees Fahrenheit. Inefficient kiln designs, they are more than capable of destroying standard red bricks if the firing is not carefully moderated. Then I asked, can a red brick melt if exposed to temperature exceeding 2800 degrees for long periods of time? Yes, a red brick will melt if exposed to 2800 degrees Fahrenheit for a long period, as the temperature meets or exceeds the average melting point for standard clay bricks. Because bricks are composite materials of clay, shale, and various minerals, they do not have a sharp melting point like metals. Instead, they undergo a gradual transformation, deformation, and disintegration at roughly 2800 degrees Fahrenheit. Most common clay bricks begin to soften, disintegrate, or bloat. Vitrification, the material may turn into glass-like substance at the molecular bond as the molecular bonds rearrange. Structural failure, as long before they fully liquefy, the bricks will lose their structural strength, crack, and crumble. Heat resistance by brick type. For applications involving extreme heat, specialized bricks are used because they have significantly higher melting points than standard bricks. Significantly higher melting points. That doesn't say they don't melt. So a pizza oven brick can melt. Common red brick, 2800 degrees Fahrenheit, average melting point. Concrete brick, 2000 degrees Fahrenheit, melting point. Yellow fire brick, up to 2700 degrees Fahrenheit to 3000 degrees Fahrenheit, melting point. Refractory silicon carbide, up to 4000. So it can melt. Any one of them can melt. Write that down. Standard red bricks are typically fired at temperature 2900 degrees Celsius, 1100 degrees Celsius, 1650 degrees Fahrenheit to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit during manufacturing. Pushing them to 2800 degrees Fahrenheit far exceeds their intended service limit and will cause them to fail. All right. This is a brick kiln. Okay. This is how old world bricks were made. Okay. They made them in a brick clamp. Okay. A brick clamp kiln. Okay. They make it out of green bricks. That is where they make a brick, put it in a mold, they dry it for several weeks in the sun, and then they build this clamp out of bricks, okay? And they build tunnels for the fire, and then they cover it in clay, okay, to keep the heat in, okay? And the bricks that are closest to the fire get hotter, and they do this for like a week. Okay, so we're not talking about a few minutes that they did in the video he was discussing. They do it for a long period of time. Okay? This is a melted, vitrified red brick. This is vitrified brick. This is brick. You can see that it's been heated too much. This is the condition where it's starting to, disintegrate and crack. But this is vitrified brick. This is a mass of bricks that are melting. This is another mass of bricks that are melting. These are clinker bricks, okay? These are the bricks that got too close to the heat and were heated too long, okay? And it misformed them. And people still used them. They used them on the back of buildings, and then at some point they started using them as decoration. And then your meltologists will tell you, oh, that's evidence of a melted brick building, because they're idiots. So, okay, so that's that. Now, let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of that. And let me present one more thing here for our viewing pleasure. Let me see. It's going to come up here in a second.
You put this.
Okay, so let me. Okay, now this gentleman is going to take a TV Fresnel lens, and he is going to aim the Fresnel lens at a red brick, and he is going to prove to you in real time that not only a brick can melt, but it will vitrify. Okay, so mysterious Mr. S. Proof's in the pudding.
I really put the solar death ray to the test when I got this red brick and put it in the hot spot to see if this lens could melt it. Bricks are no joke. They line chimneys and stuff and are meant to take really high temperatures. The intense light from the solar death ray melted the brick into hot lava, and when I turned the light off, it glowed and then cooled into black glass.
Cooled into black glass. My point here is, Mr. Mysterious Mr. S, is that as far as you're concerned, I'm your elder in this research. And the next time I try to offer you a little help in your research, show me some respect, put your fucking ego down, and remember where you came from. Because you're standing on my fucking shoulders. And I know what the fuck I'm doing. Love Beags. Okay. So, that being said, I hope everybody's doing all right. We're done with that, and we're going to get into our Pittsburgh hump cut research that we've been working on. And let me go ahead and get the screen to the right spot. Get my doodadded properly doodadded. And that should do the trick, I believe. Let's see. That should do it. Okay, that did it. Okay, we're good to go. All righty. How you doing, Miss Kathy? Hello, Odin's Raven. How you doing? Superstar, you behaving yourself? Okay, so we'll start off here. And we will, let's see, I got to remember how to do this. Okay, so we open that up. Make sure that it comes up. And okay, so we're going to start off. This is 1912. A view of the Hump District on Grant Street from Webster Avenue to 7th Avenue during the 1900s. The Hump Cut took place in the area of downtown known as Grant's Hill. The project began with planning in 1909 and ended with the final cut in 1913. It changed the gradient of Grant Street, Diamond Street, and Oliver, 5th and 6th, Webster and Wiley Avenues. Please see Frederick Law Olmsted, Pittsburgh Main Thoroughfares, and the Downtown District for more information. So, let's see. I'll let you go ahead and get a gander at that. Check on 6R, make sure he's being not naughty. Hope y'all are doing well this week. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. And I can tell you that everything in this picture is gone now except the building in the background, which is the Pennsylvania Station. It's now a hotel. And you can see that beehive-like structure. It is still there. And you can go and see that on in Pittsburgh, or you can see it on Google Earth. But it is still there at their antenna. There's a trunking tower, but they've since they did the hump cut, they just demolished all these buildings that you see here, besides the one I just showed you. Got some arch windows. That's interesting brickwork right there. See how tight the joints are. That's nice brickwork. The smaller the joints, the better the brickwork, is my understanding. That it takes a better mason to do that sort of work. So weird business there. It's like a foundation. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Little Mudflood window there. There's a building here at one point. It's been demolished. Got dental, dog toothing, and arched windows. There's those weird plumbing tubes. Got my boater hat on. There's Super Fred right there. All right, let's move on to the next one. Bada bang, bada boom. And this is 1912. A view of the Hump district from Pentland Street from 7th Avenue to Tunnel Street. All right. Let you get a gander at that. Hey, Dragon Sage, how you doing? Hello, Miss Virginia. Okay. Got those weird form molds here. Maybe Dragon Sage knows what these are. Some sort of concrete mold. I think they're using it kind of like a retaining wall for a sidewalk. But they have these little hooks on them. So obviously they're lifting them here, but they're, I believe, made out of concrete. And then they put them right here. And then they put the new sidewalk will be right here. So it's just a weird, I've never seen them do that before. Maybe that's more common than I know. I haven't seen it. I got a little Mudflood winder here. Look at the dirt right here. Got the phone pole going down in the ground. Look at the dirt right there under those buildings. That just can't be safe. Caution, dangerous, keep back. There's Fred. That's wild looking. Those two guys, that's funny looking. Oh, this, I'll hear it now. Oh, this AI. It's not AI. It's glass plate photography. And if you moved, it did weird shit. This is normal. It's not AI. It looks like AI, but it's not. These are 100% real. You can take your happy ass to the University of Pittsburgh and go to the library, and you can request to view these glass plate negatives in a physical form. So before you make stupid comments, make sure you know what you're talking about. The more you know. And as if you couldn't tell I was Gen X, then that should tell you right there. Nixon. No, they're not Nixon. Is that got concrete mold there doing the sidewalk? There's another building that's crumbled. All right. Moving on to the next picture. Looking for what we can get into tonight. It's been a whole long time since we've done this, like 2 weeks. And I bet y'all was chomping at the bit. Sorry. Let y'all get a gander at that. There we go. I don't see him, but hello, Frankie. You might be there. Not sure. I don't see you, but I imagine if Hippie is saying hello, you're probably there. Anyways, let's go and see what we got. So we got an areaway retaining wall here and here. Got this weird, I'm guessing these are water pipes. As best I can think. Caution, dangerous, keep back. July 4th dancing. Italian cuisine, spelled with a V. It's interesting. I'm toying with this salt right now about the English language. And It's just be shooting in the wind, okay? You know how they like to reverse things and flip everything upside down. Okay. Well, we've been told that the English language came from, the European area, and then it traversed its way across the sea over to here. And I'm just wondering if that's not actually true. What if, hear me out, not saying this is true, I'm just saying let's just think it, let's just flip it upside down, see how it rolls out. What if the English language was started here in the old world and then went east, arc-light, and that's why English is simple here, excluding the accents, okay? Which the accents, that's a whole different monkey. But the simple English, English in America is very simple. It's there's nothing fancy to it, okay? It's just plain English. But then you get into English in England, and it turns into this whole other monkey, old English, the thou art the, and, it's like, how did we go? Did we go from thou art thee to, plain simple English, or did we go from plain simple English to thou art thee? I'm wondering if it got reversed, because I see on these old world buildings English, and we think, oh well, we tacked that up there. Well, maybe we didn't. We see the signs with the U's for V's, and we see the English chiseled into the buildings. What if those buildings, were actually, English language? What if English was here? I'm just thinking outside the box, trying to flip it upside down, looking down the other end of the telescope. Not saying it's true. I'm just saying I'm looking at it a different way to see what happens. What are your thoughts? And yes, I know it sounds crazy, so skip that part. That doesn't help. Okay. Anyways, that's about the gist of the theory. Hypothesis. I hate that word, hypothesis. Oh, whoops. 1912 view of the Hump Cut District on 5th Avenue from Grant Street to Ross Street. And we're going to let you take a look and see what you think of this picture. What do you think? Anyone? Owen's going to have to listen to some Russian now. Look at that pipe in the ground right there. That's a steam hydraulic, a steam right there and there, steam chisel. Steam chisel. Looks like some brickwork there underground. That would be an areaway, I would imagine. Not sure, but there's definitely bricks there underground, about 4 feet away from the building. Look at that old wallpaper there. Look at that guy standing up there. I can't zoom in any closer. That's got to be Boss Man. There's Fred back there. Fred's the horse built America. Still looking for a donkey, though. You seen a donkey. Floppy Chopper. You think it originated here also? So y'all think it's possible that could hold a little weight? I mean, maybe. Kind of a what if, maybe. I don't know. It's just something was just thinking about. I like to kind of look at things the wrong way around and see what comes out of it. And it just doesn't, I don't know, something about, it's like, okay, so we came over here talking like English, and then we dropped all the English stuff and cleaned it up and simplified English to have English. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. To me, it makes more sense that English evolved and was added to, not reduced. Is kind of my thinking. Like they didn't. It doesn't make sense to me that they simplified English. It makes sense to me that they added to it and embellished it. Is my thinking. So I should tell you a little thing. So the Allegheny Courthouse and the jail are right here, and all of this is demolished on the left-hand side today. So they came through and did all this work, and then later demolished everything on the left. So that's kind of weird. There's another one in jackhammer chisel thingy doodads. That's a technical term. So this week we started a. Oh wait, no, I did the wrong thing. 1912 a view of Hump District construction on Grant Street from 7th Avenue to Webster Avenue. So this week we started a new project on the farm, and it started off in the right direction. And then we spun the dial and then drunk a little whiskey or something. I don't know. But by the end of the conversation, we were going a whole different direction. So we started off, we were going to put a lean-to roof built out of steel. Basically, we were going to just put up 4 10-foot steel posts, 6x6 steel posts, and then take concrete decking like you do on buildings, and we were going to do a lean-to roof off of a Connex, and that was going to be like a little carport area, and we're going to put the guard shack under there, guard dog shack under there. You know, that's been the idea for, I don't know, a year now. And the guys came, the steel workers came this week, and they started, they broke out the steel, and they put up 4 columns, four posts, and all of a sudden the boss was like, you know, and there it went from downhill from there. So now we're putting up 8 columns with a 16-inch I-beam frame, and then a metal concrete deck, and then a 3-inch concrete slab. And then those posts are going up 20 feet in the air. And then we're building an apartment, a 4-room apartment, 5-room apartment on top of that, a 20 by 40 apartment. And I think it might get bigger. We might put a deck on it. And then an A-frame roof on top of that. This thing is going to be 25 feet in the air. And so they had to pull the post down and then pour new footers. And it is a full-on, we've gone crazy situation. And we're like scrambling to figure out what we're doing, because it's like there's all kinds of complications with this thing. So anyways, woo! Okay, so let's get into it. I'm just tell a little something. But it'll be, if we get it done, it'll be a while. If we get it done, it's going to be pretty damn nice, and it's overlooking the lake, so it'll be a pretty neat thing. Got Mudflood winders down here. There's those weird water pipe thing doodads. I don't know if anybody's ever said what those are. I haven't figured out what they are. I'm sure it's simple. It's like, oh, that's a blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know what a blah, blah, blah is. Danger, slow down. Department of Public Safety of, I guess, Pittsburgh. Got a keystone there. Check out that right there. That mechanism right there. That's an arc light. These arc lights had to be changed regularly. So they'd have these mechanisms that they could lower them and change those lights. I mean, these lights had to be changed a lot. That was a major thing that had to be done. They were nice and they were bright, but they did not last. Etherphenial. So there's that. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I mean, you got another example, Dragon's Age is there's a trunking tower. Louisiana, they speak English, but you can't hardly understand them. Then there's dialect. There's different like there's some dialects down at the North Carolina coast that are hard to understand. But those, I think that I think it's the same kind of thing. I think you had a basic English or possibly had a basic English here, and then as it went to different areas, it changed, just like as it changed when it went east. Because I think it's very possible that people from America went to Europe at some point during this last reset to get away from whatever was going on. It was like a run for the hills kind of thing. And I think a lot of people ran to, Europe, and, the dialects changed. You got a period of time, I'm sure, where there was not very good education. And let's say you have people that are not getting educated and they're learning a little bit of English, and then they start kind of adding things into it. And then, the uppity people, they want to, kind of sound a little fancy. So they start doing these and thous and all that crap. And, I mean, in America, we think like when a English person starts doing the thee thou and the Shakespearean dialect, we seem to think they sound like douchebags. No offense, but they sound just retarded. It just, to us, it doesn't sound. It sounds ridiculous. Whereas it doesn't sound ridiculous to them, but to us, I'm just saying it's because it sounds so far away from English. It's like, what, dude? I can't understand you. Speak as English. Speaking the English. Okay. And yeah, New York, Boston have different accents. Same in the South. Same in California. You got the Valley. People in the Valley. I mean, yes, Texas. You have different dialects, yes, but I think it's all a bastardization of simple English. Just my thoughts today. Tomorrow I might think completely different. 1912 U Hump District construction on Wiley Avenue from 5th Avenue to 6th. Just trying to look down the other end of the telescope. I think that's the best way to figure things out is look at it from a different way than we've been taught. Look at that stonework right there. That is something else. Got an I-beam. This is an areaway. And there's the sidewalk, so it's up under the building. Areaways are very strange. This is what they would put the pavement light in. Now, I don't know if they had pavement light in these. I have not found any proof that they did, but that's where they would put them if they did. And I don't know how I got listening to it. I saw that that jackass Brian Harple was suing Candace Owens for talking shit about him, and which is awesome because now she could get this discovery. She can, now subpoena all kinds of shit. So it's probably they're trying to roast her in the court of public opinion, which ain't gonna work. But anyways, I heard Baron Coleman talking about this, which he's a lawyer, so I wanted to hear his opinion on this, and of course he thought it was hilarious too. It's really a good thing. It's like, yeah, hell yes, sue us. Yeah, hell yes, sue us. We'll get that discovery, and then we'll really get this thing going on the Charlie Kirk investigation. So yes, absolutely, sue the shit out of us. So, anyways, he mentioned a X channel, Twitter channel called, I think he said Muppet Masters, which it took me a while to figure it out, but it wasn't Muppet Masters. The channel was Muppet Masher. And he was saying that this Muppet Masher channel was going through and identifying people that were on site the day of the Charlie Kirk shooting, and making a list of identifications of people. And he's found like 100 people or something like that. And I thought, oh, that's a good resource. So I went on there to his to see if he had excuse me, figured out who the second EMT is, because I figured out who the first one is. And somehow, some way, he just recently heard about the EMTs, and he did not know who the second EMT was or the first. And so I contacted him and let him know. I said, hey, this is who it is. And so, he was really interested. Like, wow, okay, that's awesome. So he added it to his list. So now he has another name for his list. So that was good. That's how it's done. Getting the word out. It's very difficult, but it was good to see a little bit of movement there. And I saw that what's his name? Is it Dank? I want to say Dank. I don't know, one of these bigger channels, a pretty bigger channel. He had just recently mentioned the EMTs. He did not mention their name. He just mentioned that they were there right beside the SUV. So it's slowly creeping into the consciousness of the people that are actually, higher up. They're not still getting it, but whenever they do get to it and start looking into it, the only thing they're going to find is my work, because, well, it originated here. I've got everything. There ain't nothing other than what I got. So if you want it, I got it. It's here. It ain't going to be anywhere else, because I'm the one that found it. I'm the one that did it all. Nobody else has, gone out and figured it out. And I don't know how, but anyways. I've, as you know, I've put that down, but I did pick it up for a second this weekend. View of the Hump District construction on Webster Avenue from Tunnel Street to 6th Avenue. And what we're going to find, let's see, going to let you get a gander at that. Take a little look. Take a little look-see. Get familiar with the situation. And that hump cut kind of looked like a civil war also went on. Damn. Oh, Civil War. What a joke. I can't believe they actually tried to sell us a Civil War here. See this building right here, they're lowering. They're going to lower this building down. Anytime you see this, they're lowering the building to the ground. And it's quite possible, yeah, they demolished this. They demolished everything in this picture except this here, which is the Allegheny Courthouse, the Frick building, and I'm not sure if this building is still there or not. I can't remember. But this building here and all the little buildings here and this building over here on the left are all gone. Later, they didn't do it. This is the weird thing. Some of them came down during the hump cut, but they all came down later. So why this looks like a church maybe. Why they did that, and see they cut these little channels into the brick here to put these stabilizers up, which is interesting. But they'll lower these buildings down. Why would you go through so much trouble to save these buildings only to demolish them later? It does not make sense to me. It would have been so much easier to tear these buildings down when they did this. It would make so much more sense. Why did they save these buildings only to tear them down later? I cannot figure it out. There's Fred. I mean, the only thing I can think, and this is just me shooting in the dark, okay, I think they did some sort of insurance fraud where they took, basically, they knew they couldn't pay for all the buildings at one time with the city budget. Okay, so what they did was they went through and some of them got knocked down. Like this one here, it got knocked down in the process. The facade fell down. Okay, but this one here, they saved with these support beams. Okay, these braces. So this guy right here would get paid, right? So they do an insurance claim. Okay, it's like, oopsie, we knocked your building down. Okay, you get paid. Okay, but these two guys here didn't get paid, right? But then later on, you know, they would get paid in a different way by buying up the land. Okay, we're going to buy your land, and they would buy a little bit of time, or they'd have a fire sale. You know how they do. You know, there's something. I don't think. Well, I just don't think they did it legitly. I mean, they don't do anything legitly. Nothing they do. So why would I expect that this is going to be any different, that they did this legitimately? It doesn't even sound right. So why would it be legit? How are you going to have a legit thing going on if it doesn't sound legit? 1912 view of the Hump District, construction at the intersection of Grant Street and 5th Avenue with a steam shovel in the foreground. And I'm going to give you a gander at that one. Got the Marion shovel. Model 35. Booth and Flynn Ltd. Contractors, Pittsburgh. See, that'd be a lead of somebody to maybe do a little research diving into. Look at those wheels. Look at that old plumbing. So much going on in these pictures. And these are 100% real. I mean, I think that these. Hey, Miss Orphan Annie, how you doing? I think these pictures are some of the best evidence for a mudflood reset that has ever been found. What is weird is that hardly anybody is talking about this. So it makes me wonder. I know there is a channel that will be looking at this when they can. But other than that channel and Jared Boosters, nobody else is talking about this. So it makes me wonder, you know, why are they not talking about this? Do they not want to share mudflood evidence with people? Of course they'd say, oh, we're not watching BEAGS. Well, that's bullshit. Somebody is watching BEAGS and somebody is telling them what's going on here. So if they're not watching it, somebody's watching it. Somebody is informing them. So that's bullshit. And if you think these bigger channels ain't watching me, you better think again. Wouldn't be the first time they've come and jacked my work. So don't think that hadn't happened. But my question is more to the point of, why is the community not up in arms about this? Why is the Mudflood community that's so big, why are they not like freaking out over this? I'm sorry, there's enough here to, show the point. I don't know what else I could do besides stand on my head naked, in a rainstorm to get people to see this. 1912, a steam shovel works at Lower and Fifth Avenue near Grant Street, showing the Carnegie Building and Anchor Bank. I don't know what else to do to get this ball rolling here. This should be the biggest conversation in the Mudflood community. But people are still watching, John Levy go through the Sears and Roebuck catalog. Now you make that make sense to me, because it don't make sense at all to me. I don't understand that. What's the name of that? I forget the name of it. This is that famous department store, the original Kaufman's, I believe, and the original Kaufman clock is right there. You can't see it. It had this statue up there. I have not determined, and I have tried to. I don't know. I cannot determine whether they tore this building down and rebuilt it, or if they tore off the facade and redid the facade. But the old world facade and the newer facade are both old looking. So I'm not sure what's going on there. This could be what I call an anomaly building. But I don't know, because I've not confirmed what they did. I have tried to look into that, and I have not figured that out yet. It's amazing how you would think these records would be readily available. They're not. You really have to. A lot of my research deals with reading what the people have to say in comment sections, people that were actually there. I learn a lot from people's memories of stories and things. They'll say, well, I remember this and I remember that. And you can put a lot together just by listening to people, because everybody's got a little piece. And I don't discount people. You can definitely learn something from them. Look at all that dirt. My goodness. Big old arch. Anchor Bank. That's an interesting building right there. Etheric antennas. Blasting. Keep moving. I would imagine it would be a lock down the area situation, not a keep moving situation. But that's just me. I generally like to keep moving, not go near a blasting area. But, what do I know? 1912 Hump cut looking down Fifth Avenue from Grant Street. All right. That's weird right there. I don't know what that is. What the hell is that? Look at that, y'all. What is that? That's odd looking. I don't know what that is. Is that what the hell is that? that some sort of statue, or is that a... I don't know what that is. There's Fred. I know what that is. I don't know. That's really weird. A lot of people looking at it. Check this out. Got the iron. This reminds me of the Templars. It's interesting. They got their flags running backwards here. The inversion. That's why they put the flag on the United States military like this. It's an inversion. And they'll say, oh, well, it's supposed to look like we're running into the battle. No, it's an inversion in plain sight. That's what it is. It is what it looks like it is. It's an inversion. They'll tell you anything you want to hear. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever helps you sleep at night, they'll tell you that. Spiral staircase. That would be a fire escape. That building is really cool. This is the one we're just looking at. That's neato. There's Kaufman's. There's the statue. Etheric antennas. Of course, they threw some flags on that one. This is the original building now. The building looks much different today, but it still looks old. So I'm a little confused. It might have something to do with the 1943 hanky-panky that went on. I believe they might have possibly changed the matrix on us in 1943. This is a building that I would put under the category of anomaly. And that's a whole nother subject. This is the original Kaufman clock. So when you hear meet at the clock or meet at the Kaufman clock, this is what they're talking about. But the Kaufman clock today is not that clock. It is a different clock. In case you're unaware and uninformed and wanted to know. In case you didn't want to know, then you know now. And that is a steam boiler that's like a mobile steam boiler that they're running the jackhammers on. They did a lot of jackhammering. Southside Trust Company. There's a circumpunct, the original symbol for the creator. And I am going through every one of these images, and I am determining what buildings are still there, and I am posting one a night on my X account. So if you're interested in knowing what is still in the images, then you can see that unfold on X. And I like to post neat little things and repost a lot of neat little things on there to keep you entertained and informed. So check that out if you're bored, need something to do. Hello, Mr. Morgan. How are you tonight? And what else we're going to find? Okay, I think that was about done. And the reason we're going through these like this is that I can't download the images in high resolution, so we're going through them one by one and getting a good gander at them. Gander for you city folks is a look. 1912, Hump looking south along Grant Street from Oliver Avenue. And let you get a gander at that. Get you a gander. Bum, 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 bum. Morgan says he's doing good. Well, that's good. What was Cup with that circle stairway? Cup with that circle stairway. I guess if you look down on a circle stairway, it could be considered a circumpunct. Never thought about that. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Let's see what we got here. That's weird right there. Not sure what's going on there, but it does look like they're possibly etching him out of the image, which they did do, which I haven't seen a lot of that, if any of that, in these images. Could be that. He could be doing something really fast, and it could be creating that, but it's not AI. So don't get your knickers twisted. Do. It's been a little bit cold here around here, these parts lately. What's up with that? I guess the weather modification ain't going the way they want. Gotta hate that. I guess they faked another shoot the other day. I don't know why they keep doing that. I don't know who believes that crap, anyways. Are there people that really believe that? Do y'all know people that believe that they actually tried to shoot him again? Well, I don't think anybody believes that crap, do they? I don't know, maybe they do. They believe damn near anything, I guess. I don't know. We're in a weird time. Oh, okay. 1913, men are busy at work on the Hump cut taking place on 6th Avenue between Grant Street and Wiley Avenue in the Hump district. Hump cut. What's a hump cut? That's a hump cut right there. That's it right there. Got your gander? Okay, so these are going to be the new road right here. These stone bricks. I believe these are stones and not bricks that they're going to make their road out of. Looks like the Cross of Lorraine up there on the "You Need a Biscuit" sign. There's a fire hydrant down here. There's those big trolley tracks that Sig likes. I've never seen trolley tracks like that. I don't understand those. Epithelial. Check that out. Arc light. Must be Boss Man right there. He looks very bossy manny. Oh, look at that little car. It's so cute. I like that. There's Fred back there doing what Fred does. There's another Boss Man. But they had a bunch of Boss Men. I can't imagine moving this steel around. It is interesting to watch those steel guys work, how they move that steel around. Mucho respect for them. It's interesting to watch them work. They're going to build the exoskeleton, the floor for the apartment, and the roof, the roofing. We're using concrete decking as the roofing. We've done it before. It works really good. But we get this stuff free. The material's free because my boss being having a demolition company, when they demolish the buildings, they take it to their sister company, which is a recycling, a scrap metal recycling company, big, large one. And so they have a huge backlog of steel that needs to be scrapped. And so he can just go over there and get whatever he wants for nothing. Like, it's just so, it don't cost him nothing. If it cost him anything, it's just so cheap because steel doesn't have any value. But this 1913 view and Millen building during the Hump cut on 6th Avenue near Webster Avenue in Hump District. So, we get the steel free. It's the labor of the, putting the steel up that's, that costs money. But it actually goes very quickly. They're going to have it. I talked to the guy and he said 2 weeks. I think is that they feel like they'd be done in 2 weeks. So we'll see. I think it's possible because I've seen them work for, and they're really fast. I'll try to get some pictures to show. And I'm having some trouble with my phone camera. It's one of my front cameras is getting wonky. I must have bumped it or something. So it's getting a little bit. Sometimes I can take a video or a picture, and sometimes I can't, which is frustrating. But anyways, so I will try to take a picture and let you see the progress as it comes along. It'll be pretty cool, I think. If anybody cares. If anybody doesn't care, then follow it, or I don't care. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I'm gonna sleep either way at night. Got an Ether antenna up here, a little Ether antenna, a little dental work right there. Arched windows. People's Loan Office. Crest House moving. So they probably lowered this building, or I would say they lowered it. It'd be my guess. And they did it already. I don't know. It's hard to tell. That's a good picture of that guy. That's somebody's, grandpa right there. I bet they'd like to see that. Who are these people? Looks like a flat earth asterisk right there. Etheric antenna right there with a mercury ball. Guys moving too fast. Not AI. Just moving too fast. The resolution of these images is incredible. I don't know what the actual resolution is, but it's really high. (1912) 40-ton shovel in the Hump cut at the corner of 5th Avenue and Grant Street. Behind the shovel, the Union Savings Bank is visible, housed inside the Frick Building. The Frick Building was built in 1902 next to a building owned by Andrew Carnegie. It is rumored that the two men feuded after splitting as business partners, and so Frick had his building built taller in order to cast Carnegie's in a constant shadow. At the time of its construction, Henry Clay Frick's personal shower on the 19th floor of the Frick Building was the highest shower in use. Okay. And Frick is also a very important person in the history of the Johnstown flood, if you've not looked into that. And he should have been put in jail for that event and was never charged. Which is a travesty. A very bad travesty. And we got our buddies symbology here. You know those guys? Anybody know these guys? Anyone? Y'all don't know them. Blasting. Looks like some of that, like an old version of that weird plumbing. that we've been seeing. And this building today has a plaque right here, I believe, that shows the old level of the hump cut. This is before, so they're digging out the hump cut here, but they dropped it down like 10 feet or something. And there's a plaque right here today, still to this day. You can see it on Google Earth and stuff, Street View. And there's a plaque that says original hump cut level or something like that. Can't. It's like 4 1s on the Roman numerals there for you Mandela affected folks. Kind of hard to see that one, but that's what it looks like. This is the Frick building, in case you're wondering. This is a very beautiful building inside. But Frick was a very nasty person. If you look into Henry Clay Frick, he was a real jackass, a real loser. He was more concerned about a dollar bill than a person's life. But there'd be Mudflood windows down there. They are Mudflood windows down there, in case you need them. So yeah. And he was a close associate of, and he was basically at one point Andrew Carnegie's. He's the one that Andrew Carnegie would send to shake the trees. He was like his shaker and mover. Basically, if there was problems, like they sent Frick, and Frick went in and did his thing. He'd shake it up and keep Carnegie's hands clean. He did the dirty work for Carnegie. And then they had a falling out. And so, anyways, 1912 Ross Street, showing the bridge of size connecting the Allegheny Courthouse to the jail during the Hump District's hump removal. Let's get a gander at that. And this is a great picture because it shows the street level today, which is here, and then the street level yesterday, which is here. So, and this is still here today. I believe the buildings in the background may be gone, but the Allegheny Courthouse is here and the jail is here, and this is the bridge size. And so you get a great view of how much dirt they took off. And they did a lot of finagling with the stonework on the bottom of this building for sure, making it try to match the top, which it never did. They say you can still see the difference between the two. But what's weird is the architect claimed that he knew they were going to do this and that he put the same stone on the bottom that he put up here. But that's not true, because when they did the building, the stone was replaced because, well, it wasn't there. It's kind of hard. When I find the right pictures, I'll show it to you. It'll make more sense when I'm not talking out my ass. Does that make sense? Write that down. That's Boss Man right there, in case you need to know where Boss Man is. Arc lights. Boom, 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 boom. 5th Avenue, Ross Street. And we're going to go here. In 1912, Allegheny Courthouse and jail during the Hump District hump removal. The long view of 5th Avenue from Ross Street to Grant Street includes several business fronts, including the Henry Hotel Henry. The Hotel Henry. All right. And the Allegheny Courthouse on the left. And this is the Frick building here on the left. That's the Hotel Henry. Boss Man over here. I took off two days last week. I stayed pretty much in bed Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday last week, and then Saturday, my sciatic nerve started messing with me in my foot, so I was chilling all day yesterday, and then it started feeling better today. Um, so I've had a rough week last week. I've been a little bitch, but that's okay. I guess we're all allowed to be a little bitch every now and then. But no, I was in a lot of pain. That dang on. I went to Lowe's to get some 6x6x12s, and I went there at 2 o'clock on a Friday, and I walked in and I said, "Is there anybody at the contractor desk?" And they're like, "No, they've gone home for the day." I'm like, "Gone home for the day? Friday at 2 p.m. They've gone home for the day." I'm like, "Well, how am I supposed to place an order?" And they're like, "I don't know." And I'm like, well, I need to place an order. I've got a large order here. And so I was like, I got like, I don't know, three, four, 5,000, two or three, I don't know, $3,000 worth of wood. I don't know, something like that. And I said, I said, can I check out? Can I give you the order at the checkout? I'm talking to the cashier. This lady, her name's Flo. She's really nice. Anyways, shout out Flo. And so she said, well, you can, but can you go get me the tags off of each type of wood you want? And I'm like, oh God, okay. So I went to go get the tags, and when I went to get the 6x6 tags off the 12x12s, they only had like 4 or 5, something like that, they were on the bottom rack, but they were all the way in the back of the rack. So I had to get down on all fours and climb over the racking to reach the 6x6 underneath. And that is not good on my knee, with a bad knee. And I knew I shouldn't have done it. And about couldn't get off the damn floor after doing it. And then I thought that's probably not a good idea. And the next morning, my knee was swollen up because the barometric pressure dropped. And anytime I do something stupid with my knee and the barometric pressure drops, my knee blows up like a basketball, and it's excruciating. And I turn into a little bitch. So that's my excuse. What's yours? So I called boss man. I said, I ain't coming in. I'm gonna be a little bitch. He said, tell me something I don't know. I said, well, I don't care if you knew it or not. I'm telling you, I'm a little bitch. So I had to. I couldn't even walk. So I stayed home. And anyways, canceled the show, as y'all know. And so now I'm here. Anyways, not that anybody cares, but no, I appreciate all your well wishes. I appreciate that. I do think that those kind of things help people. So, and that's why whenever I hear anybody's in need of a well wishing, I try to, shout them out and send love and light to them, because that stuff I think really does help. I didn't read this. 1912 First German Evangelical Lutheran Church on 5th Avenue at 6th Avenue during the Hump District's Hunt removal. The scene includes business fronts, horse-drawn wagons, and a partial view of the Allegheny Courthouse and jail. All right, let you get that gander you always like to get. And the Allegheny Courthouse is on the right-hand side. And trying to get my bearings. I think everything in this picture except the Allegheny Courthouse is now demolished, if I'm not mistaken. But when I get my records looked at and gone through, we will know. I'm going through each picture and analyzing each individual image, and I mean really, really digging into them to find out whether they're there or not. I'm using old maps and Google Earth and all kinds of shit to check it out. So I'm really, really analyzing. So when I say a building is demolished, I'm sure of it. And every now and then there's a question mark, and I'll make that note. So there's Balsa Man right there. But I want to know what's here and what ain't here, and I think that's part of the overall research of this scope of this intellectual process that we're going through here. That is probably more painful than watching soap opera for a man. Anyways, tell the truth. Who watches soap operas? Raise your hand. Be honest. Be honest. It's okay. We know. We already know. A lot going on there. All right. And Allegheny Courthouse and Jail. And 1912 Grant Street with the Allegheny Courthouse and Jail on the right during the Hump Cut District. Blah, blah, blah. Bum, bum, bum. Allegheny Courthouse on the right hand side, Frick Building on the left, and everything else in the image is, I believe, not sure about that church. Not sure about that church, but I think maybe that church is gone. I think about 85% of that church is gone, but that would be real easy to figure out because it's either sitting there or it ain't, and it's only a few blocks up on the left hand side, not hard to find. So I'll be able to determine that. I will know at some point, and then they'll have to answer for why it's not there. Why did they go through all this and then demolish 85% of it? 85%. Why save 85% of it only to demolish it? Makes no sense. Tartarian lions. Check that out. See, here we got English written into the stone. There's the AE. If you know, you know. You got a V for your U there and there. Maybe there. I don't even know what they're spelling there. It's kind of weird. What they're spelling. Is that Latin? What is that? I don't speak. Me speaking no Latin. Me no speaking no Latin. And this is interesting right here. These flat stones here. That this is how it originally looked, and you see they've got the toruses down here. That's what they call these. As the bottom of the column, you got your capital here, and see. What's interesting is that the architect says that he knew they were going to uncover this, so he took the stone down into the ground because when it was uncovered, it would be the same. That's not true. That's a lie. And I can tell you this is a classic example of knowing that that's a lie because this right here, when they open this up, does not look like this. They added this. They recreated this below after they dug this out. They did the same thing here going down, but it doesn't. There's pictures that it shows it is not there. So when the architect says I kept it going down into the ground, you know, to because I knew they were going to uncover it, it's a lie. It's a boldface. That's like 100% confirmed lie. It's not true. Why did he lie about that? That's just one example in this building. There's others. And we're not going to put up with it. I mean, Sig might put up with it. He might. I don't know. Oh, y'all don't need to know that yet. You need to know 1912 Grant Street, 5th Avenue, looking to Diamond Street during Hump District Hunt removal. Scene includes construction of a small bridge adjacent to the Allegheny Courthouse and Jail. All right. Now, got that information out of the way. And there's those weird pipes. What this contraption is. That's odd. Maybe some sort of plumbing. I think this is the Frick building on the right. Allegheny Courthouse. Yeah, that's it. This is the Allegheny Courthouse on the left. They built a little footbridge to get over to it. I believe this building is demolished at this point. Today is what I mean. The building on the left here, or to the left of the Frick building, this building is gone. It's demolished. I know that. And don't do it. Okay, 1912 5th Avenue from 6th Avenue to Ross during the Hump District's removal. And let's get a gander of that. Let's make sure Mistress Gregory's behaving herself. Bum, 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 bum. That's the Allegheny Courthouse. That's the Frick building. The buildings on the right here are now demolished. They are gone. But they saved them at this time. There's Fred doing what Fred does. Fred's the horse built America. And he ain't no donkey. That's all you need to know. But they say imitation, is the best flattery. So, do. Bum, 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 bum. Balsa man right there. All right. And go to the next page. Okay, so that being said, I think we're going to take a quick break and let the Beagle go do a patrol. Get my doodad going, doodadded. Okay, we're going to go take a quick break, and we will be back shortly. So if you'd like to have a quick run to the little, Tinkle Tower, have at it. We'll be back soon.
We don't get protected, just delayed at a cost.
I swear I'll change, yeah, I swear I'll stay. Bitter water, promise, baby, drink it anyway. I swear it's love, I swear it's clean. Say it till it's empty, say it through your teeth. So I throw a vow like coins in a cup, just to stop the flood, just to stitch you up. I'm good at the line, I'm bad at the proof. love's a thirst with no bottom to it. I pull my chest, you still run through it. I give and give, it don't turn to peace. Nah, it only turns the key. I swear I'll change, yeah, I swear I'll stay. Bitter water, promise, baby, drink it anyway. I swear it's love, I swear it's clean. Say it till it's empty, say it through your teeth. Baby, drink it anyway. I swear it's love, I swear it's clean. Say it till it's empty, say it through your teeth. Gravel in the velvet, babe. Yeah, I felt that. Soft on the surface, under it, hell nah. I love that comfort when it cut me. Gravel in the velvet, I kept coming back. Called it care, I called it home. Same old game with a different cup. You gave me silk with a wire inside, and I smiled like it weren't tight. Table, strings on my wrist. Ride me home, then you check my lips. Introduce me like I'm yours to show. Do me a favor, then you make it oh. Yeah, I learned that love can lean like a blade. I stayed for the warmth I couldn't name. Gravel in the velvet, babe. Yeah, I felt that. Soft on the surface, under it, hell no. I love that comfort when it cut me.
All right, that's enough of that bullshit. All right. Oh, y'all ready to party some more? All right, let's double biscuit. Hey, you didn't even get biscuit. What was that?
You only got one biscuit, you nut. Yeah. All right. Get on with you. Okay, everybody. Y'all ready to rock and roll? Okay. So, let's go ahead and get back into it. And we had a nice little patrol. Going out, check for pit bulls, look for Mr. Rabbit. Alrighty. Okay, so we got 1912, and this is 5th Avenue looking west from Cherry Way to Smithfield Street during the Hump District's hump removal. Okay. Get that going. And let's see. Let y'all get a gander at that. Play on the computer here for a second while y'all do your gander. And that's the Kaufman clock there on the left. And okay. Let's see. Make sure. I'm trying to make sure that this thing is doing what it's supposed to. Okay, there it goes. Okay. And these are the stones that they're going to use as the new cobblestone road. Got some good looking young men there ready to question what's going on here. This is the original Kaufman's building. And that's the original Kaufman's clock. But this building looks very different than the building today, although the building today does look very interesting. There's one of those spiral staircases. It's interesting how it terminates there. I wonder how they got to. I wonder if there was a ladder that came down or what. I don't know. Kind of weird. But the building looks very different today than it does back then. There's the arcade. Jenkins Arcade, I believe. Got these lights up here on top of this building. Detail there. Hotel Henry. Let me turn my fan down here. Let's see. It's getting a little chilly. Got egg and dart right here. That's the symbol for life and death. Coal. What you doing, hound dog? You go finish up your dinner? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. I was just asking a question. Don't you lick your lips at me. I'm not edible. Forget that shit. Although stir-fried beagle does sound delicious. Oh, interesting. Hadn't seen any of these yet. Construction plans. This should be interesting. Let's see. 1912 set of construction plans for street improvements and gradient changes on Pentland Street and Dante Alley. All right. So I'll let you get a look at those. Move this over a bit, maybe. Yeah, right there. I can't get rid of that. So let me see if I can help you understand what you're looking at, because I know this is going to be confusing for a lot of folks that aren't in construction. Let me see. O'Neill.
Okay, so it's two different streets. Okay, these are two different plans for two different streets. First off, right here we have Pentland Street, right here, and it shows the alleys. You got Dante Alley here. Not sure what this one is. There's Strawberry Way right there. This is 7th Avenue right here. And this is looking down on the buildings. This gives a 40-foot, I guess, from here to here, roughly. Buildings between these lines to be removed. That's interesting. That's good information right there. Buildings between these lines to be removed. That's interesting. That's good information. Now, what this is a side view profile, okay? And what this shows you is if you were looking at the street from the side, I'm trying to figure out which way it's looking. I'm not sure what direction, but this is a building here. These are buildings, okay, right here, okay? These dotted lines are buildings, okay? Right here, these are buildings, okay? Then you have the depth numbers will be here. And it will, this is how they know how much to take off. Okay, if you look here, it says present surface, and this is the proposed grade. This is what they're trying to get to. Okay, so the original surface was here. Okay, this line here, and then what they're trying to get to is here. Okay, now that doesn't mean they got that far, or that they didn't go lower. That I don't know. But this is the plans that those guys that are working from. That they've been told to take off this much dirt. And you can see how much each of these numbers is how much they're supposed to take off. And this is the percentage of grade they're supposed to take. Shows us a sewer pipe, and I don't know if this is the original sewer pipe or if it's the old sewer pipe. I don't know. And then this one's a little bit easier to see. This is looking down. This is Dante Avenue. There's an alley, Pentland, Tunnel Street, O'Neill, 6th Avenue. A lot of details on here. And here you have present surface. So this is what the original surface looked like. And these dotted lines are the buildings. Okay. And the dotted lines that go below that are what is actually there. So look at all this underneath the ground. And like, here's the proposed grade, 3.207 degrees that they're trying to take off. But look how much they're leaving underground here. And then here's another interesting thing is these, you see when they remove it down to this proposed grade, see how these are hanging in the air right here? Well, they got to come down. So there's a lot of important information here. City of Pittsburgh, Department of Public Works, Bureau of Construction, Improvement of Streets, Hump District, Pentland Street, and Dante Alley. And 1912. And as you know, I am in possession of an actual hump cut map blueprint. So this would have been a blueprint. So this would have been looked like my blueprint originally. But when they do a glass plate image of that blueprint, it turns out like that. So I hope that made a little sense. There's going to be more of these. We'll continue to look at them. They are very important into this research. Okay, this is 1912 set of construction plans for street improvements and gradient changes on Script Alley and Garland Alley. And I'll let you get a look at that. And again, the top is the overhead view, and it's two different streets. Dividing line of the two is right here. This is one street plan. This is another street plan. So we get in here, the Script Alley here. That's interesting. Vault. That's interesting. I wonder if they're talking about an areaway, Fifth Avenue. And you got present surface here, this top line, proposed grade here. And you know, notice it changes as it goes through. And then you got your buildings there. See how low this building is in the ground? That's interesting. Look how low these buildings are in the ground. How many floors do they go down? I don't know. Something interesting going on there. Garland Avenue or Garland Alley, 6th Avenue. Present surface and the proposed grade, and then you can see that there is this under the ground even after the proposed grade. And again, 1912 Public Works Department. All right. And there's quite a few of these. They had one per street that they did. 1912 set of construction plans for the street improvements, gradient change on Cherry Way. So anybody that's doing research into the Pittsburgh hump cut is definitely going to want to get a gander at these. No doubt. And if you look closely at these things, you can learn a lot of different things. There's Lemon Alley, 4th Avenue. And here's your profile, your original level here, proposed grade here, and so your building goes down into the dirt a lot further. And somebody that can read these plans better than I can would be able to determine how deep these buildings are. How deep is that building right there? I'm not sure. But somebody that reads architectural plans would know how to read that. That's just something I don't really know, unless it's real straightforward, and that one's a little bit complicated. It's a little bit above my pay grade. So if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know, and I don't know. So you lose. No, somebody's going to know. 1912 set of construction plans for street improvements and gradient changes on Cherry Way. So this is Cherry Way is a long street, just so you know. That's why there's multiples of this one. Looks like they're doing 2 blocks at a time. Buildings between these lines to be removed. building to be removed. So there was some buildings they actually planned on removing from the get-go. That's important to understand. That's good information. I don't know how much that accounts for, but here's the present surface, and here is the proposed grade. And you see the buildings. And you got this down here, which is interesting. I don't know. Is this a building? I don't know. Look. I mean, the way I'm reading it, it is. But am I reading that right? I'm not sure. Looks to me this building here goes deep into the ground. But like I said, this is, I don't have all the information of knowledge of how to read this to 100% accuracy. Maybe if I spent more time on it, maybe I would understand it better. I know those are measurements on there. I just don't know exactly how they are adding up. I'm more interested, not the side-to-side measurements. I'm more interested in the depth measurements, which I'm not seeing those correlating. 1912 Fifth Avenue from Grant Street to Ross Street during the Hump District Hump removal. The Allegheny Courthouse and jail are clearly visible in the photographs. Well, clearly visible, huh? Well, I guess they are. On the right-hand side, the Allegheny Courthouse, and there's the jail, and the buildings on the left are now demolished. Got a lot of boss men standing around doing a whole lot of nothing. White shirts, as I call them. I call my boss a white shirt. He still don't get the joke. I'll call him during the day sometime. I'd be like, what you doing? He goes, oh, I'm working in my office. And I'm like, you're in your office, sitting in your office? Like, yeah. I'm like, oh, you're not working. That's not work. He didn't think it's as funny as I do. Of course, he got me I take a picture of it. He got me a sign for my Kubota that says, sarcasm, just one of the many services I offer. So I posted it on my Kubota. I thought it was funny. I'm a very sarcastic person. Basically, if my gums are flapping, you might as well just, consider I'm talking shit. Not out of meanness, just out of sheer boredom. No, I don't know. I'm Gen X. We're smartasses. It's the way we were brought up, the way we are. I don't know. 1912, talk to the creator. Grant Street from 5th Avenue to 6th Avenue during the Hump District Hump remove. Allegheny Courthouse jail and visible in the background. Visible. Okay, so I don't know. I don't see them. Maybe. Huh. I'm not sure. I don't see them. Anyways, okay. I don't know. I know the answer to that. That's the mortuary. We know all this. I know these buildings are gone now. This whole pile of rubble here is gone. All these buildings are gone. I think these buildings are gone. Pretty sure. I'm almost sure all these buildings are gone, but I don't know where the Allegheny Courthouse is in this picture because I don't see it. If it's there, I don't see it. I see Boss Man right there. Boss Man Jr. Got the meat and potatoes here. That's Moose. That's Moose, and I think Rocco's over here somewhere. That's a weird little feature right there. Moving something foundation work. That's a lot of dirt right there. Oh, nope. Wait. Nope. I got ahead of myself. 1912 Fifth Avenue from Ross Street to Grant Street during Hump District removal, blah, blah, blah. The street scene includes a view of Allegheny Courthouse and Jail and the Hotel Henry. Okay. I like reading those because sometimes you can learn good stuff. Let you get a gander of that. Allegheny Courthouse on the left, Frick Buildings right there. And the buildings right here are gone. I don't know about these. I can't remember. It's hard to remember this stuff. Like I said, I'm going through each one of these and investigating whether the buildings are here or not. I can't remember if the Jenkins buildings is there or not. Check out that boiler that was inside the areaway right here. So this was covered by a stone areaway up under the sidewalk. Boy, you imagine being on that sidewalk if that boiler ever blew up. Boom. Big kaboom. Big bada boom. Boom for real. If you've never seen the movie Basquiat, that is such a good movie. About Jean-Michel Basquiat, the painter. I really like that movie. That's one I can watch over and over again. Just really, really good. Very artistic, and I don't know. Not saying it's true. Don't take it as truth. Please don't do that. But it's really well done. It's got good actors, and it's just good storytelling. 1912 Fifth Avenue from Ross Street to 6th Avenue during the Hump District removal. Street scene includes a view of the Allegheny Courthouse and Jail. Okie dokie. All righty. Okay, so the jail is here. All right, and I believe everything else is now demolished. I believe I can fly. I believe they can demolish the buildings and tell us that they meant to do it. Somatic window. This is very strange. Look at that. You can see the original dirt level right there. It's like bread right there. You got a trolley. Put in those new stone pavers. Of course, meltologists to tell you those are belted red bricks because, well, they're retarded. We need a whole new avenue of thinking there because that is a plague on our society, those people. I don't know how people can be so stupid. It like really makes me question the intelligence of humanity, the meltologist. 1912. Grant Street from Oliver Avenue to 5th Avenue. During Hump District Hunt removal of Allegheny Courthouse and Jail, construct workers, draft horses, and steam shovel are visible in the street scene. Well, thank you for telling us all that we probably already could have looked at, could picture and figured out. Let's get a gander of it. And then we'll get down here to look at some Fred booty. So they're going to drop this building down. There's arches. That's the Allegheny Courthouse. left, and the Frick building's on the right here. Very weird. Look at the mountains in the background. That's across the river up there. And I've actually eaten dinner at a steak restaurant up on top of this mountain here, overlooking the city of Pittsburgh one time. And we drank wine and ate steak, and it was really good. Pittsburgh was a pretty cool little city when I went. We did a show there. I don't remember what show, but I don't know. When you do those shows, stage productions, you do so many in different places that they all blend together. So it's hard for me to really tell you one from another at this point. 1912, Chatham Street from Pentland to Webster Avenue during the Hump District hump removal. And let's get a gander at that. Hello, Kimmy loves. Do, do, do. Looks like a dirt line right there. It's interesting, they just write on the stone. There, yeah, that's definitely a dirt line. You can see the dirt line this way. Look at the soot on these buildings from the steel mills. Greek key, diamond symbology, dog toothing, arc light. Coin with a Q. Little Mudflood winder. Not sure what the hell you call that. Maybe a Mudflood winder. I don't know. Okie dokie. (1912) view of the hump. Cut on 5th Avenue from Grant Street to Ross Street. All right. Let's get a look-see on that one. Yeah, Kimmy loves the oldest artifacts on Earth was confiscated when the U.S. Invaded Iraq. Absolutely. I don't know if y'all remember when the U.S. went into Iraq, they blasted in the Humvees across the desert in the middle of the night. And there was a reporter that got a blood clot in his knees, and he died because of that. But they did that because what they were doing was they were going into the heart of Iraq and to Baghdad, and they were going to the museum, and they were going in to steal the antiquities from the museum. That was the whole point of rushing in like that. If you remember that. And then they came in and did a bunch of little skirmishes to kind of get people sidetracked. But while they were doing the little skirmishes, and make, a lot of, basically the Iraq army put down their weapons and the people were screaming and yelling and celebrating. But while that was going on, they were robbing the antiquities from the museums. So absolutely, that's true. It was a big heist, and we fell for it. America. Gotta love it. Whatever you think war is about, it ain't. Always something else going on. I mean, let me give you the cliff notes. There are no nuclear weapons. Okay, they don't exist. So whatever they're doing now ain't got nothing to do with nukes. Just that's your cliff notes. Okay. Allegheny Courthouse and Jail on the right-hand side. Everything on the left is now demolished. Do, do, do. 1913 Hump cut progress along east side of Grant Street looking south from Strawberry Way. I. Mm-hmm. That scale right there. Old lawnmower, wash basin. Look at that Mudflow window right there. You know, a lot of stuff, this old world stuff, let's call it, was scrapped during the wars for the war effort. And that's how they got rid of a lot of it. They basically made us destroy the old world. And we fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Because we're too trusting. Well, we used to be. I think we're starting to kind of get our grips around it. I think people are enough of us are starting to wake up that we're starting to have an effect. It's not enough yet, but I think the tide is starting to turn in a way. But once we hit I don't like to use the 100th monkey theory because it's not true, but it's the idea of the 100th monkey. That once you get to a certain amount of people that know, then it exponentially transfers throughout consciousness. And I don't think it has to do with, let's say 10 people know the truth, and then all of a sudden the word of mouth starts transferring faster. I believe it's a consciousness thing. I believe it's an energetic change. I believe once we get to a certain amount of consciousness, that once we hit that threshold, that it then exponentially increases the energy and folds over and over and over very quickly. And once we hit that level of consciousness, then it'll be very, very, like, it'll be so quick that it's basically terrifying if you're not ready for it. It will scare the shit out of you because it will happen so fast. So 1890, check out that onion dome right there. Just be, ready that, one day it's going to be like, NPC City, and then the next day it's going to be like they think they know it all. But remember, awakening is just you go through several stages of awakening. Awakening doesn't just happen. It's not one thing. It's not like, oh, I'm awake. Look at me. 1913, Hump cut progress like southeast of Grant Street towards Webster Avenue. It's not like you just wake up and that's it. That's like the end all. It's not like I woke up in January 2008 and that was it. Oh no. Oh no. You have several awakenings, quite a few awakenings. Matter of fact, it's quite possibly that awakenings never stop. You'll go through dark nights of the soul. They'll suck ass and they'll rip your heart out and they'll tear you up and spit you out. So the dark nights of the soul it's like you have this consciousness expansion, but then you become overwhelmed And it's your mind and your soul and your consciousness are just absolutely overwhelmed with what you've learned. And then you'll have a dark night of soul, which will help bring you back down to a level of that you can handle. But it'll suck ass. So just be expecting that when you wake up. Just be expecting that you're going to go through some hard times, but that it'll get better. And as you work through it, it'll get better. And as you work through it, it'll get better. And each time it'll get a little better, and a little better, a little better. But I guess the main point is that you don't just wake up and that's that. That's just the beginning. That's just the the whoopee, I'm awake, and that's fun and that's cool and that's amazing, and you feel like you've just discovered the universe for the first time. But the universe is going to slap you around like it's your like you're the universe's little bitch, and it's gonna wear you out, because you're gonna think you're special. You're gonna think your ego is gonna jump up and think that, oh my goodness, look at me, I'm awake. Oh, look at nobody else is awake around me. Ha ha ha! I got so much knowledge they don't have. Yeah, and then the universal bitch slap you. I'm telling you, I'm just warning you. It's gonna happen. Happen to me. It's gonna happen to you. Happens to all of us. It's just the way it is. It's the process. You gotta trust the process. It's the way it happens, the way it works. But there's lots of good videos. Oh, shoot, I didn't read my thing. It's lots of good videos on the thing. 1913 Hump cut progress along the east side of 6th Avenue in front of property owned by Rafferty and Gallagher. Okay, well, now that we know that. Okay, I'll let you get a gander at that. Take a good look. Yeah, yes, Teresa, it's waves. Imagine, like, if you really think about it, imagine trying to live your entire life in that highly awakened state. It'd be too much. If you remember what it's like when you first have that awakening, how energized you were. If like you tried to live in that state all the time, it would be too much. You have to balance back out. I guess my point is, don't worry about it. Like, don't be upset when like it doesn't, like you kind of lose your superpower a little bit, because it'll kind of suck. I mean, if I had been doing this back in when I was reading, I could verbatim spitfire quotes, very esoteric quotes out, just rapid fire, like from different books, from different periods of time on any subject. Like my mind was on fire, but it was overwhelming to have that information at the forefront of my, mind all the time. And so, events went down, and it calmed me down. Thank God. Hey, haha, what's going on? And we got Freddie here and his buddy. Got another Fred back here. Gosh, look at the size of that opening right there. That is massive. It's what, 30 feet tall? Looks like scrubbed cartouches. Tartarian lions, scrubbed cartouches. I've noticed a lot of other channels starting to say cartouche now, which they didn't used to say that a long time ago. I don't know if I'm the one that figured that one out or not, but I don't remember how I figured it out. I remember a lot of people used to say, well, that's not an Egyptian cartouche. Well, there's Egyptian cartouches, and then there's architectural cartouches, which is what those are. So pull your smart assedness back and reel it in, and you'll be all right. I could make a case that's flat Earth asterisks if I wanted to. I could do that. Won't need to, I don't think. I think it's apparent. Check that out. So much detail. Just lost the facade of this one. Beagle snoring in my lap. If you hear somebody snoring, it ain't me. He thinks he's a lap dog. He's not. 1913, Hump cut progress along east side of Cherry Way, looking north from 4th Avenue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. I'm sorry, I was just talking a little shit. Don't eat me, Beagle. Got your gander yet? Okay. Elks. See, there's the original level right there. All right. See you later, Beagle. Bum, bum, bum. That's weird. I wonder if that's a barbershop pole. I don't know. Not show. Oh, no. Hit the wrong thing. 1913. Hump cut progress on Webster Avenue. The fronts of Hotel Bruises, Liberaria Economica, what? And the Banca V. DeLucia and company are visible, as is a woman with a baby in carriage on the lower left. Buildings in the image are property of V. DeLuca and Washington Trust Company. All right. How do you, like, what random ass information? Oh, wow. Look at that dirt. My goodness. Look at those stairs. Talk about sketchy. Oh my gosh, they look like they're about ready to fall through. Oh my gosh. What in the world? That's not safe. There's the baby carriage. It's a very common way of doing windows right here. Look at that work, man. That's fancy. I wonder what this is. That's weird looking. That reminds me of English chimneys. Tourist Field. Italian Employment Office. (1913) View of Hump cut progress on Grant Street looking east from Diamond Street near the Allegheny Courthouse. Okay. Okay, Mike. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the Allegheny Courthouse. These buildings on the left are now demolished. There's your steam engine there that's doing the chisels. This is what I was talking about. You see, there is that flat stone. Okay, it's smooth. Okay, and then this is what's below it. Okay, when they uncovered it, this was what here. But if you look at it today, this area here looks like this area here. Same with this area and here and here and here. And it's on both sides. Okay, but the architect claims that he did the stone underneath because the same way as he did above, because he knew they were going to uncover it. So that's evidence that he's full shit. Another thing, I can't really, this is a really weird building. Like right here, you see these nubs, and then you see right here, there's stones right here. Well, they took these stones out, shaved these or chiseled these nubs down, and then put new block here. And that's the block they today say doesn't match, even though, you know, it's the same type of stone. They say it might not match because of the pollution that was on the building when they did this. See, it's this dark color because of the, you know, Pittsburgh being the steel city. And it's there's some Roman numerals for you. And there's your AE there, another AE there. If you know, you know. Oh, that'd be fun to drive. You must walk behind that thing. That's a steamroller. And somebody told me one time, that's AI because look, you can see a steamroller in the picture. Well, yeah, they had steamrollers. Duh. I mean, come on. It's like people, I don't know, people think they know more than they do, and they really let you know it. It's like, I know something you don't, but they really don't. It's like, yeah, no, you don't. I don't know. I like to know what the hell I'm talking about before I open my mouth. You know, I didn't read my thing. 1912, Hunt removal on Wiley Avenue, looking on from Fifth Avenue and showing the severity of the cut and its impact on the surrounding neighborhood and businesses. Establishments affected included the Buffalo Restaurant, the Duquesne Beers. What the hell kind of idiot? That sounds nasty. The Keystone Loan Office. What kind of nasty ass beer is that? Me not gonna drink none of that beer. Wow. That's impressive. Good grief. Fred doing what Fred does down here. It's amazing how they just run through all this mud. I wonder what he's up to. What you taking notes of there, son? Look at that archway right there coming out from the building. There's another one. This could be an arched areaway, so you have to take that in consideration. Restaurant bar room. Buffalo Restaurant. Oh, these are definitely demolished. All these. Now, all this is gone. And they lowered these buildings, by the way. I've seen pictures where they lowered them. See, I'm getting to know these things. It takes time. The more you look at these things, the more you look into them, the more you think about it. You know, you're digging. The more you understand what you're looking at. At their fencing, at their cresting and finial, trunking tower, at their antenna, keystone loan office removed to what building? Twa building. What? 106 Smithfield Street. Okay. That's random. What a heck of an operation, y'all. So yeah, everything in that picture's gone now. We didn't need none of that. They didn't demolish it at the time, though. That's the key. That's what's really interesting. Why, I don't know. 1913, a view of Hunt Cut project progress at the northeast corner of Wiley Avenue, 6th Avenue, looking to the Holland House. Aight. And take a gander at that. And you can see that the glass plate was destroyed at the top here. Possibly broken. Not sure. Could be the emulsion was damaged and it peeled off. That happens sometimes when they're not taken care of properly. Electric antenna. Time and symbology. And pretty curtains. Holland House. Groceries. Yeah, that's what it is. See these little dots here? That is like a mold that gets on the glass plate negative sometimes and eats them. So this has probably been damaged. It was probably not stored properly, which happens a lot. We're actually very lucky they survived. I put this picture up one time. It looked like Groucho Marx to me. This guy. I thought it was funny. Get you some mops. It's interesting to see how people lived back then. But that was a good business to be in. It was an awning business back then. Okay, so I think that's going to be all we're going to go through tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll continue this at a later date, hopefully next week. And I hope you enjoyed that. And we will definitely take a deeper dive into it and continue on with this looking at these wonderful glass plate negatives. And I think that is good for this week. I sure appreciate all of you hanging out and learning a little something new and sharing yourselves with everybody in the chat. And I hope you all have a very nice week. And please be good and good to each other, and kick a globalist in the nuts while you're at it. So have a good week. Love, Biggs.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. Don't you get it?
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
Welcome to the underground.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.